Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the Michigan Ultimate Survivor League. It is I, James L. Seagreaves, coming to you at the ripe hour of 7:05 a.m. on a Tuesday. That's right, Commissioner's Corner back on a Tuesday. We're going to hope we can record this thing without having any audio/video errors. We still have not gotten a new computer because I got to find a good deal on one. Don't have one. But if you want a good deal on an iPhone 16, you got to come talk to me, okay? Did a lot of those. I'm a little stressed out. Been working like nonstop during iPhone launch, but it is what it is. But let me tell you what I've also been doing, working nonstop on, is your Michigan Ultimate Survivor League commissioning. Trying to keep things in order. Doing a good job. Only had 2 randomizers this week, so that's great. We'll talk about that in a minute. But we're going to get right to it here, as my coffee's getting cold, so that kind of sucks. But we're going to go through the bottom 100. And we're going to see where we're at here. We're going to start with the 100th team in the league.
You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
You're in trouble. We tried saying goodbye to him last week with that same sound clip, but he stays at the bottom. I'm not sure why he says he's 0-2. That must be a non-conference record. I'm not sure with that here. So that's weird. Wait, this is the old one. I'm sorry. My bad. This is the new one. Whoa, I almost went to the wrong one. But guess what? You're still at the bottom, unfortunately. Okay, we'll do this again one more time. You are the weakest link.
The weakest link. Goodbye.
Now he's 0-3 like he should be. That was last week's rank because I was looking at before. I switched them back and forth so I know where they were at the previous week if I need to. 138.64 points through 3 weeks for the defending champion, ladies and gentlemen. The defending champion of the Musl, off to a very Cincinnati Bengals-esque start at 0-3. Brady's balls, not much better. He scored 10 more points. Nibble on my Gibbs, cough on my Goff, 153. These are all 0-3 teams. And another former champion, Alan Harvey, playing like Paul Harvey, needs some news and comment to get his lineup right, apparently. 159.43. Hernandez Hitman, 163.58. Low hanging fruit, 166. None of these guys have got to win. The double G spot, he was a winner in one sense this week, but not in the sense that matters, or in the sense of his real Chicago Bears winning, because they are an awful team in a very, very tough division. I hate to say it, but the Vikings aren't going away, and unfortunately the Packers have the softest schedule in history during Jordan Love's absence, so that's going to be a problem for the Lions. The regular Hitman, 0-3. A horrendous start to the year for him. Andy Plum got randomized last week, didn't get randomized this week. 0-3, still didn't help. And chop off your cock and sew on a puss, formerly GBC, one of the provosts. I will tell you, this family has an abnormal obsession with gender reassignment. It's not healthy. I don't know why 2 of your teams are very similar and so weird, but whatever. And Password is Taco, whatever. He's number 90, that in the bottom 10. So we're going up. We're gonna check out some fallers. I keep on falling. Hey, by the way, Cot Jockeys, good job. You beat one of the former champions. We'll talk about that in a minute. He had his tough schedule. We're going to go for number 20, Ketchup and Mostert. Honeymoon is literally over, as he was 2-0, falls all the way down to number 48. Let's see what we got here. Double C's. I told you he couldn't handle the pressure. He cannot handle the pressure being in the top 10. Falls to number 6, all the way down to number 39. And then this is big. Freddie versus JSON. I always talk about, I was like, I'm not sure what's up with that name. In true Jeff Arbogast fashion, who my whole life he's been like a computer guy. That's what he does for a living now. JSON is apparently some JavaScript engine. I don't know, but thank you for answering that. I get it now, I guess. I mean, hey, whatever. It's cool. I mean, it's better than some random horror reference. So, I mean, it is, but at least it ties into what you do with life. Let's see who else fell here. Nasty Neutral falls from number 9 to number 25, and number 11 to 22 for Concussion Protocol. Now, top 20. Oh my God, I don't have my other sheet up here. 1 second, I gotta pull that up. Shouldn't be too much. All right, so here we are. Number 20 is Chris Kissel's Da Crush. 2-1. I don't know why it shows 2000. It's formatted as a date. We'll just, there you go. You don't need to know that. The Crush, Chris Kissel in the top 20. 241 points. Strong Street Soldiers. This is a former champion that actually is doing something with his life in terms of muscle. He's doing something with his life in general, too, by the way. Not to say nobody's not doing anything with their life. I'm saying doing something with your career as a Musl owner and coach. You are doing something in the top 20 instead of the bottom 10 like so many of these other ones. Super original. Paul W. Smith, another WJR reference. I don't know if his middle name's W or not, but he's up there, number 18. Bracy Trudell, legs shaking right now. You're shaking in your boots as you finally hit your first loss of the year from number 8 to number 17, but I can't talk any smack because I think you're having a much better year than I am. But hey, we missed you at the Lions party, but hopefully you enjoyed that Vikings game, although I know you're probably rooting for the Texans, and it was a beat of a beat down. And there we go! You cannot fight the number one curse. For the third week, we have another number one team, and for the second straight week, we have a number one team that falls as the Rocky Keelings, 99% luck, 1% heart, falls from number 1 all the way down to 16. Mama G out of retirement and back into the top 15. Melissa Garrity. Moose Knuckles, this lucky bastard. He got randomized, and it was, it was an okay lineup he got, but they just, I think, the receiver, the 10th string receiver for the 49ers gets, 2 touchdowns. So Keith Dowdy avoids falling for the first time. He's the worst of the undefeated teams, but he is still undefeated. That's all that matters. Sewer Bombs. Now, this is the first time I think this has ever happened. Both Kissels, I think they're father and son. They may be brothers. I don't know. You got to realize I don't know everyone in this league. I just know their names, and I don't know how they're related. I'm sure they are related, though. Both named Kissel. They're both doing the Kissel Whistle, as they are both in the top 20 for the first time ever, I believe. Sewer Bombs up to 13. Good job for you. Love Story, Jordan's version, just continues to win. She's the only undefeated team and the only ranked team in her conference. We'll look at that in a minute. The Tallywhackers put up a paltry number of points, but beat me, unfortunately. So they're up to number 11 from 16. Will's Wranglers, undefeated. We're going to be having quite the showdown between Ryan Knight and Keith Dowdy, potentially. Maybe this week. I don't know. I don't look. My reactions are authentic when I look at the schedule. Show me them TDs. Chad Leach doubles himself up from number 18 to number 9. Swine Flu, Mike Kaminsky, has quite the method. I will tell you, he's the new owner. He's undefeated. He's now number 8. Haven't heard from this guy in a while, so hopefully he's all right, although he did like some random Facebook post my dad made or I made. All Too Well wins and goes from number 5 to number 7. That's pretty rare to happen in this league, but still it happens, presumably because she didn't score enough points, but she scored enough points to win. That's all there is to it. Brad Van Camp up from number 14 to number 6, BVC. Baby Bat Gibbs up from number 13 to number 5. Congratulations on that. The Patriots, Patriots go from number 12 all the way up to number 4. That's pretty good. Oh my God, I didn't want to do that. Hit and Rug stays, the top 3, or the top 2 of the top 3 stay dormant, as Hit and Rug stay at number 3. Pukanuku Matata stays at number 2. But there is a new number 1 team in the nation, and that is Chop It Off. It'll make you stunning and brave. Twilight Zone reality, folks.
We need to build a wall.
We need to build a wall. It's got to be built quickly. He's building the wall to prevent all the transgender surgery, I guess, around himself. And what can I say? The Provost family have a weird obsession with gender reassignment, but they also have a weird obsession with winning. And they are always in the top at the end. Someone is, and one of them. There's 3 of them: Pat Sr. and Cody. Only 2 of those have these names, but there we go. This is for you, buddy.
We did it, Joe.
All right, more like we did it, Pat, but still, I know you love that woman, so I just had to play it. So there we go.
Yes, Obama is the Antichrist.
All right, that's for you. That's one for you, buddy. So there you go. Now we're gonna look at the randomizers from week 3. Like I said, not a lot going on here. This is the total as of right now. Kennedy's Remedy's been eliminated. You are really the weakest link. Love you, but he didn't give him much of an effort. And then Young Bubba's players, Moose Knuckles this week. Not a lot going on there. We're gonna take a look at the conferences. Jeff Lebowski Conference, we have 2, 3, and 0. This is Will's Wranglers and Moose Knuckles, number 10 and number 14. The Mad Scientist, which is Justin Redding, not on the win column yet. Not great. Kirk Leiser's conference, we have a logjam at second place, but show me them TDs, as you mentioned before, as I mentioned before, I should say, not you. It's 3-0, only undefeated team. No winless teams here, as Play with Mike Ditka won, and now I think he lost this last week. But look at this, 2, 4, and 13 all in the same conference here. And as you can see, chop your cock and sew on a puss. I mean, I think he might have done this because he's playing like a girl. No offense to the ladies in this league. That was very offensive, but it is fine what it is.
Another one.
That's, another offensive comment probably going to come out of my mouth. But still, nevertheless, I mean, if you were going to go with traditional statements, this guy is doing something wrong. He needs some kind of reassignment surgery to get his own team in the win column. That's all I gotta say. And then, of course, you have, I mean, hey, look at this, though. We have 3 undefeated teams and 4 2-1 teams, including the aforementioned Freddie versus JSON. Football is Life. That is Tom Farmer. Ryan Frazier, haven't said his name a lot this year, 2-1. And then Alex Erickson, who fell from 2-0 to 2-1. So congratulations on that. Not really. And then we have the Jeff Spicoli Conference. We have a lot of mediocrity and some not-so-goodness here. But we also have Stephanie Bradley and Tallywhackers Josh Crampton. You need to come get your iPhone, by the way. Both 3-0. The Lions Pride and Kakambas, that would be Jeremy Orr and Josh Bednarski, coming in with 2 straight wins after being randomized week 1 because he didn't know how to use the site, apparently. Double G-Spot and Your Mother Likes My defense. Coincidentally, both at the bottom, getting something going on there. And Stinky Fingers, new owner Golden Kroger, loses again after he won last week. So congratulations on that. Then we have Frank Drebin Conference here. We have we've already talked about these guys many times. We have Chop It Off, the number 1 team, and then BVC. Few 2-1 teams, then Gimme 2 for the road, and Nibble on My Gibbs, Cough on My Goff, both 0-3. Those are David Dalton and John Zemer, somewhat respectively. Worth noting, Paul Wallenwine here is starting off 1-2, not great. I thought I had something for him. I do not. I'm sorry, but nevertheless. Then we have the aforementioned earlier, a love story. She just never loses. 3-0. A lot of 2-1 teams here. Is Eric Minturn, Greg Munger, Pat Provost Sr. without a crazy transgender name yet. Balls Deep, Barry McCockner. Oh no, sorry, Balls Deep as John Gillette, 2-1. We have a couple 1-2 teams, and the 2 Hitmen and Low Hanging Fruit truly are living up to the name. Or at least that one is 0-3. The Rod Kimball Conference, we have a log jam of 6.
This aggression will not stand, man.
Speaking of log jamming, Big Lebowski, this is not his conference, but this is the Rod Kimball Conference. The aggression will stand as you have 6 2-1 teams. Nobody ranked, by the way. Not a single ranked team in this conference, but man, it is log jamming. Carl Hungus style, as you have True Blue Wrecking Crew technically on top, which is Roger Brewer, Craig Monahan, Robert Ames, I keep forgetting you changed your name, Austin O'Neill, Don Knapp, and Lennon Seagraves, all 2-1. Dollar Bills, y'all, would be falling off pretty bad here, unfortunately. I mean, he was number 1, and now he's, Get the money, dollar bills, y'all had the money for 1 week, spent it all like a complete gambling addict, and now he's down 1-2. And then the good news is there's no one undefeated. There's no winless teams in this conference, so anything can happen there. Then we have I forgot to do the fastest 8 minutes because for whatever reason it's not on my rundown, but we'll do it in a minute. Actually, we might not this week. We'll see, because it takes a long time, and I've already spoiled everything with these standings. So I don't know. It's early. I've been stressed out. Leave me alone, okay? Then, of course, we have the Apache Chiefs are back up. We talk shit. We talk trash. We threw trash out the window of our car, and it landed at his feet, and he wept a tear, ladies and gentlemen. But the Apache Chiefs, the Navajo, he will go to the promised land. Doesn't matter if you're Apache or Navajo. It's equally offensive. Cale Seagraves' team took our comments to heart, and now he is leading the Napoleon Dynamite Conference with 2-1. Not ranked still. Another non-ranked team here. Non-ranked conference, rather. But tied with him up here, Christopher Russell, Will Green, and Cody Cole, who, you know, was number 6 and I was not. But look at this. The crazy thing in this conference is we have 4 teams with 0 wins. That's right. That is the sign of things to come for these guys. Someone's dying because you have 4 0-3 teams, and these are like, I mean, there are 2 former champions in this conference who have not won a game so far. Now, again, we have 8 games to go. A lot can change. If you finish your season 8-3, you're probably going to make the playoffs. And again, this is not a regular fantasy league where you're like, oh, my team sucks. I haven't won any games, probably won't. No. We don't know what these guys are doing. They could come out with a Cassandra Seagrave style lineup, which I got a text from Josh Griner asking what he did to her to give that lineup. I'm probably not going to go over it. I might look at it. We're not doing the fastest or the slowest 8 minutes, whatever, 25 minutes, whatever the hell it is. But she said it was submitted a super lineup, and I believe she won. I hope she did. But, yeah, I mean, a lot can change in this league. So, I mean, but, again, every win is equally important. Then we have, down here, we have 4 teams log jammed up at the top with, it's ladies' night for sure here, as Melissa Garrity and Sarah Krasansky both up there. But then also Paul Smith and, of course, Michael Myers, who, you know, he's focused on one team now. And but password is Taco, another former champion, 0-3. What is happening right now? And then finally, we have the Lloyd Christmas Conference with 3 3-0 teams, number 3, number 5, number 8, as well as the DeCrush number 20, which is Chris Kissel, as I mentioned, and the Suicide Squad, Justin McClinchy, 2-1. Congratulations, he must have won this week, I think. But again, no winless teams, as we have Whispering Eyes, Garrity Gigolos, Ghetto Highs with Steel Six Actors, and of course the Canton Hall of Famers, Richard Perez's team, 1-2, but no 0-3 team. So that's pretty good. Let's see here. Let's go through. Screw it. We're gonna do it. I don't care. This is where my computer always freezes. We already know the standings. We also know that my computer is incredibly slow. But here we go. We're going to do it. I don't care. We did it out of order. We're running it down. I've got like 20 minutes before I got to go to work, so let's spend all 20 minutes talking about games from last week. What do you say? What do you say? And we'll see if this thing freezes. If it does, this shit won't get uploaded till tonight. But we're going to try it. I've updated everything. We're going to see if it freezes. I'm going to try to close out as much as I can because my computer can't handle much. Here we go. In the game of the week, Stephanie Bradley moves up to number 7, beating Your Mother Likes My Defense by 56.97 to 55.62, led behind Josh Allen's incredible performance last night, putting up 4 touchdowns and a whole bunch of yards. Moving on, Will's Wrangler stays undefeated, beats the Dragliners behind Dak Prescott. God, he looks like a bitch with that tattoo on his neck, but still 51.18. He couldn't win a real game, but he helped Will's Wranglers win his. Joe Buck Yourself, Jordan Craig puts up 98.41 to move to 1-2 on the year. I'm going to turn this down. No, screw it. It's intense. We need it. Over OJ Eldorado, 98-78. Then we have Malcolm Rodriguez in the middle of the thighs, who put up a super lineup. As you can see, Josh Allen, Derrick Henry, Alvin Kamara, Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Jake Elliott, Las Vegas Raiders defense, and they only scored 66.01 points, but it was still enough to beat Josh Griner, even though Joe Burrow and Zach Charbonnet didn't put it on ice. They lost 57-66. Josh Allen again for the Sagnas. He's not about top over the Mad Scientist, 72-53. We have the Moose Knuckles, who was randomized and got a blessing with Jawan Jennings. Randomized shitbag player of the year, scores 32.25 points in a randomized effort, which is half the points this guy scored over Honolulu Blue Skies. A tough loss for Paul Brown. Nevertheless, you Thielen Lucky Punk, Brian David, he has never won. I've made it official. He is not a former champion. I got him confused with Brian Carey multiple times. He has never won, but he did win this week as he defeats Jamie Phelps / Bracy Trudell. Actually, I don't know who's who. I think Suckett is the Nuts, and Suckett, they are obsessed with things. Nevertheless, they lost. Hanging with Mr. Hernandez defeats the Wyans 82-52. How about Jaden Daniels, by the way? What a game. They both started him. They both canceled each other out. But Chad Lees knocks off the number 1 team in the nation, making them all the way down to number 16. Behind Zach Charbonnet, Chris Godwin, Chris Olave. God, they got a lot of food-like references here. And, of course, Mark Andrews, who apparently, I don't know if he didn't play or not. I started him. He got 0 catches. Nevertheless, Muckers, Scott Muckovitz over Hurt So Good. Parker Dalton goes to 1-2. Muckers moves up to 2-1. Play with Mike Ditka puts up another sad performance. Zach Moss, great performance last night. Enough to get you the win anyway. Of course, you could have started a team full of Mark Andrews and probably still won. Based on that, oh my God, why is it so loud? I don't dare. There we go. That might be better. There we go. FarmersOnly.com beats Play with Mike Ditka. Sewer Bombs over Ketchup and Mostert. 38.7 points. What a disaster. Helps. I mean, Sewer Bombs didn't score a lot of points, but won and got into number 13. Death by 1,000 punts. They are 1-2 now. It's the Patriots, rather. Jamar Chase. What a weird photo. 86.58. Led by his score. And also, by the way, Amari Cooper with 19.8 points. Young Bubba's players was randomized. He did not get the blessing of Jawan Jennings, although the Seahawks defense did score 17 points. But Josh Allen helps Ryan Frazier win. We go on to Chop Off Your Cock and So On a Puss, losing as they should for having such a dumb name. And similar to your uncle or whoever he is, Tom Farmer wins. Joe Burrow looks really happy in this photo, but he should be because he helped Puka Nacua Matata stay at number 2 over Freddy vs. JSON, formerly ranked. Golden Kroger couldn't defeat Amber Cole. Amber Cole got the deal of a lifetime on an iPhone 16. She put up a lineup of just above averageness, but enough to beat the rookie Golden Kroger's team. The Lions Pride beat up the Double G spot worse than on a Tuesday night. There it is. Kyron Williams with a weird flip that probably could have broke his ass. Nevertheless, Tallywhackers over Providence Power, nothing to see there. Kakambas over Sticks It In Ya. Derek Gregory puts in a lineup again and fails, but Jeremy Orr wins, goes to 2-1 on the year. Brandon Aubrey, still no photo for this guy. BVC over Nibblema Gibbs. That's a long name, not going to say it. Better Bring Your A Game finally back in the win column. 2-1 over Just Here so I don't get fined. Also here so he doesn't get a win. Again, he falls to 1-2. Then we have Chop It Off will make a stunning brave over Gimme 2 for the road. 94.36 to 70.46. David Dalton, you have failed for the 3rd time. You know,
I'm a white guy. I'm ready to kill.
Apparently, you are not ready to kill David Dalton because you lost by 24 points, and now they are new number 1 team because of your incompetence. Nevertheless, Cheechki over Velada in a real barn burner here, 60.09 to 46.93. Vincent Velada falls for the first time. Josh/Nick Harris, rather, goes to 2-1. Prime time. They got a miracle in Buffalo or Colorado land, Buffalo land, as Brian Benor gets another miracle, not really, beating the 1-2 now Paul Ward by 70.73 to 57.83. Derrick Henry looks like he wants to kiss you. That's all I'm saying. Then we have Balls Deep. John Gillette over Low Hanging Fruit, living up to the name. There's Zach Charbonnet. Looks like he's in middle school. Eric Minturn over the Hitman, 84 to 65. The Hitman, his daughter really wants you to bring your kids back up to the zone so they can play. She loves Addison, but Minturn has been missing in action from the Lions parties this year. Bring them back, and also bring back my car seat. Nevertheless, coming from behind, Greg Munger up 2-1. Hernandez Hitman, just the name of the Hitman, you're not going to win this year, basically, put it that way. Bleeding Blue Bombers, Pat Provost Sr., the one Provost with a normal name, over Fly Eagles Fly, 83 to 78. Congratulations. This is this weird Jamar Chase photo again. Love Story continues to win. Do You Even Swift Bro continues to lose. 1-2 as $75 million man. Does Monahan on Monahan crimes here. Look at that, back to back. Another Jamar Chase photo. Good Lord. The Clockwork Owls put up a paltry 40.93 points as 2 girlies, 1 cup. 90.68 over them, more than double their score. What a shame. He was too busy getting his senior photos taken, obviously. This is another barn burner. My Balzac Hurts, 54.09 wins over DeMar Hamlin's booster shot. DeMar Hamlin's booster shot is about as effective as the real booster shot in winning. Maybe your chest will explode next week. 32.89 points. He needs some kind of booster shot. Jesus. True Blue Wrecking Crew over CJ Gardner Johnson. Roger Brewer moves to 2-1. Golfing with Laporta moves to 2-1 as Dalla Bills, y'all, loses again. Jonathan Taylor looks like he's smelling some bad cheese in this photo. Then we have Rashid Rice. I thought his name was Rashid Rice, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he dropped the D, like so many men have, according to the Provost family. Golf and Balls beats You're in Trouble 52 to 41.34. Then we have this is a real barn burner, The Nuts, which is Jamie Phelps. Bracy Trudell, suck it. The Nuts is Jamie Phelps / Trudell over Brady's Balls. Corey Brewer 48 to 40. The Nuts squeak away. They barely swam out. Then we have the Apache Chiefs, as mentioned, over Digger Phelps, 80 to 57.74. We have Double C's losing to the Donkey Punchers, getting a true donkey punch. Cloacal Kiss can't get in the win as Cot Jockeys with their first muscle win in history over a former champion's 94.76 to 63.64. Not sure if he watches these podcasts, but if he does, he knows that his schedule is tough. So he probably brought out some hardwood here. Speaking of hardwood, neighbors saw my Penix. I know it's Penix, but I say Penix because it makes more sense, people. Over Elevator Music, 75.76, as Manny Flores gets his first ever muscle victory over Bobby Wood, who this week was indeed up to no good. In the ladies' battle, Mama G out of retirement sends Nasty Nutria back to the river. 90.74 to 69.94. Malik Neighbors had a great game. Super Original over Aching for a Ship. He's aching for a victory. He's 1-2. He's got one, but nevertheless. Squadrels again. They beat me last week in a game that I skipped over, and he was upset. Why did you talk about my game? Well, because you beat me, Square. That's why. Squadrels. I'll talk about you this time. You lost, and primarily because you started Derek Carr, as did I, and Eric Saubert, 3.05. But the Raiders' defense is what screwed a lot of people this week, and that was a big one for you. He puts up 57.59. Would have beat some of these teams this week, but not the NADTAB Knights. Michael Myers goes to 2-1 behind Rashid with no D Rice. I thought his name was Rashid Rice. I'm wrong, obviously. The Black Hole keeps Dom Valente from getting his first win of the season. Derrick Henry still wants to kiss me, but he did score 21 points, along with Brandon Aubrey, who had a monster game. Still couldn't win because the Cowboys are terrible, but nevertheless, DK Metcalf also just, I mean, hey, if you saw that pass Geno Smith threw to DK Metcalf, holy crap. What a story Geno Smith is. Swine flew over Whispering Eyes. Steel City Sackers loses to Hitting Rugs, keeping them up at the top. The Crush over Garrity's Gigolos. Steve Garrity, not a great year so far, 1-2. And then the Suicide Squad beat the Canton Hall of Famers, 75.48 to 57.58. Baby Back Gibbs, look at this. Stephen Gurgley, undefeated, new owner. 75.14 over Ghetto Heisman behind Malik Neighbors and also Amari Cooper and Zach Moss, all in double digits along with the Colts defense. And that is your moderately paced minutes of football. And guess what? All the updates work. We got through it, folks. We got through it. We're going to look right at the I'm going to look at the winners and losers real quick. We're at 28 minutes. Good Lord. We're actually not too far behind. Winners and losers real quick. I'm going to go over this. Andy Dalton, my winner number one of the week, 319 yards, 3 passing touchdowns. The Panthers were left for dead. Bryce Young, unfortunately, is a disaster. And what a almost as bad as the Deshaun Watson trade is this Carolina Panthers debacle. If you look at the people they got so that they could get Bryce Young, yay. But you never know. You see things like Sam Darnold, for example, comes out. You know, he's had 3 chances. Now this is a third time really is a charm for him. He might have had 4 chances, nevertheless. The Browns in general, total losers. They lost to the Giants, which is a problem in itself. But they lost to the Giants at home, which is a bigger problem. And it's like, come on. Winner number 2, Wiener number 2, according to this, Josh Allen. 4 touchdowns in a rout. Great job for him. And then loser number 2, you might not know this, but I DJ, and I did a wedding this weekend that was the biggest fucking disaster of my life. Not on my part. The groom, I wanted to choke bomb. He refused. He got out of his tux and refused to get back into his tux for their first dance, which is a problem. So the bride, who is beautiful and a former beauty queen, by the way, she is stunning. I'm not sure why she's with this guy. She had to get out of her wedding dress. So they did first dance photos. Nobody was paying attention because everyone was watching the Michigan game. And then as Michigan scored that final touchdown, a massive brawl broke out. It was crazy. Couldn't believe it. And then, we recovered the night and everything was going good. And then about 3 hours later, another fight broke out. So then I had to load up, sat in my car to sober up a little bit. And then a third fight broke out in the driveway. So, wow. Here's the deal, okay? Michigan, this is football related because it all started with the Michigan game. Yo, I got news for you. Probably 99%, if not 100% of these people at that party didn't go to Michigan, okay? And even if you did go to Michigan, they're called Walmart Wolverines. There used to be a team in this league called Walmart Wolverines. Even if you did go to Michigan, why in the hell would you start a fight over a football game? Seriously, okay? That's one question. But the next question is what in the world would possess you to do such thing on someone's wedding day? Are you kidding me? I could not believe what I witnessed. It was awful. There was like a 10-year-old girl who was like in the middle of it all. And she was standing there like that episode of Walking Dead where this girl's just like surrounded by zombies screaming. She was terrified. It was awful. Yo, if you're going to learn one thing from this podcast is this. Do not, under any circumstances, get violent over a frickin' football game. I don't care if you lost $2 million and someone sticks their dick in your face. Suck it before you swing at it. Okay? It was such an embarrassment. I felt so bad for the bride. I didn't feel bad for the groom because it was all his family. But whatever. I pull no punches. It was a disaster, and don't do it. Don't do it. Not now, not ever. It's just like the old Medford, Oregon meth campaign. Don't do meth, not now, not ever. Now we're going down to the week 3 preview here, folks. So that was fun. That was a great time, I'll tell you. Oh, I get kind of depressed even thinking about it, to be honest with you. But nevertheless, we're moving on. I will tell you for the 3 hours we were dancing, it was great though. All right, here we go. We have number 10 Wills Rangers taking on OJ Eldorado 2-1 versus 3-0. Obviously, number 14 Moose Knuckles taking on Malcolm Rodriguez in the Middle of my Thighs 2-1. That's a big game. We have, oh God, let's see if there's anything better coming up here. Okay, nope, this is it. This is it. The Musl Game of the Week is gonna be number 9, Show Me Them TDs, undefeated, going in to Trudell Land, where you never know what you're gonna get. Bracy Trudell. 2-1, number 17 versus number 9, a critical battle here early. Bracy Trudell loses, he'll be 2-2, and Show Me Them TDs will be 4-0 and have the tiebreaker. That's what I'm saying. These games are critical, folks. Every game is huge. Every game is huge in Musl. Number 16, Rocky Keeling takes on Play with Mike Ditka, who had a very disappointing season. Patriots taking on Alex Erickson, formerly top 20. Now 2-1 in a critical game there too, though, for Erickson, because he's going to be in trouble if he loses. Number 13, Sewer Bombs taking on Young Bubba's Players. Bubba, submit a lineup, please. You're playing a ranked team. It's important. And then, oh God, we have number two, Puka Nakua Matata taking on the bottom of the barrel, Cody Provost.
Everybody knows I like kids better than people.
Chop off your cock and sew on a puss. It's what we're gonna have to go with, I guess. You know.
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
I didn't think that's what that sound clip was. I thought it was something to tie with the gender reassignment. But the Lakers taking on Double G Spot in a game that's got one victory between everyone, I think. So that's cool. All too well, number 7 taking on Sticky Fingers. Tallywhackers taking on the Lions Pride. They are 2-1. And Tallywhackers are also, they're not also. They're 3-0, but they're towards the top of the division. BVC taking on Just Here So I Don't Get Fined. This could be a real knockout punch to Paul Wallenwine. He's smiling. He's going to show you the grill and hopefully bring a battle for BVC. Chop it off. It'll make you stunning and brave, folks. Taking on Marlin Incorporated, because I don't know how to say that name. That's why I put that. It's Marlin Incorporated, I believe. But I don't know. And then we have next meaningful game is Eric Minturn taking on Pat Provost Sr., this Bleeding Blue Bombers, and there's another blue team. I always get them confused. 2-1 versus 2-1. Big game there. Fly Eagles Fly, Mick DeBow taking on Love Story, 1-2 versus 2-1. And we get down here, Cotton Jockey's taking on Double C's. Now, there's another win for you, potentially, Michael Carl. Double C's. I said he was going to collapse. It was going to happen. Not to say anything, because he's better than I am this year. I'm no doubt about it, but, I mean, I hope he doesn't. I love Cody Cole. He's one of my favorite people. I actually got to see him for the first time in, like, I don't know, 6 months earlier. But, nevertheless, I mean, you're not ranked. I don't know why I brought it up. Mama G out of retirement taking on Elevator Music. That is Bobby Wood. You got to start winning, buddy. 1 and 2. Super Original taking on Neighbor Saw My Penix / Penix. 1 and 2 versus 2 and 1. Big game there. And then, okay, Garrity's, Whispering Eyes taking on Mason Bradley, number 3 in the nation. Yeah, Maddie Bradley's 0 and 3. Mason Bradley, which is her brother, 3-0. So congratulations. But Jason Taylor, always around. He's always around. Garrity's Gigolos, they're 1 and 2 taking on Swine Flu. 1 and 2 taking on Swine Flu. Hey, Mike Kaminsky, 3-0. We talked about him earlier. Ghetto Heisman, Rob Gork. He was so close. So close to winning the Super Squares. Oh my God, what a disaster for him. Sorry, buddy. We'll talk about that in a second. DeCrush beat him as Craig Kissel moves on to into the top 20, 2 and 1. And then finally, Baby Back Gibbs, which is Stephen Gurgley, taking on former commissioner and longtime founder, longtime owner who's been gone, former commissioner and former co-founder. Of course, you're always going to be that. Richard Perez. There we go. That's your week 3 matchups. We're going to look at the Super Squares here. And in a miraculous fashion, they needed Rob Gork had it locked up. Although, I mean, like realistically, Aaron Rodgers, 281 yards when you had Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, and Trevor Lawrence still to play. It's like, meh, that's not super comfortable. Now, Jaden Daniels probably wasn't going to throw for 380 yards. But one of those 3 had to throw for more than 281 yards, and they did. Joe Burrow threw for like 300-some yards in a losing effort. So Gary Grant is our winner for Squares this week. Congratulations. Next week goes to team with the fewest passing yards. So this is going to be interesting, I promise you. We're going to look one last thing. If you haven't started doing this yet, please start doing this because this is so easy. League, NFL pool results. Okay? Now, again, there's still not a lot of people on this team, on this list, okay? We have all year, people. People will stop doing this. You can catch up. Don't give up, okay? Submit your picks. Right now, the Nuts and Whispering Eyes have tied for the lead with several teams right behind them, including myself. My wife didn't submit picks this week, which is amazing. Thank you very much, Cassandra. And then, so the Suicide Squad, they made some picks. They're coming up. I mean, it's not unheard of, people. If you are 3 weeks behind even, people will forget to do this, and they will get screwed up. I'm not sure why it only goes to week 16. It probably should go through week 18, but I'll fix that. So there we go. There you have it. Get your lineups in. Don't be a dick at a wedding. And if you need an iPhone, come see me. But if you actually are an Android user, I'd rather see you probably. So that's that. Lions Monday Night Football this weekend. So, or this next week, I guess, technically. So if you want to come down, we will be hosting a party. Every Lions game, we're going to host something. Monday Night Football. See it. Hopefully get to see the black jerseys. We'll find out. Well, hey, you guys have a wonderful day. We'll talk to you later.